Okay, so in the first video we got our abutment on tooth number 14 to this stage where we went ahead and designed basically a full contour crown. I didn't check the context or occlusion really, just as an example. I just wanted to design it. So we talked about designing the full coverage crown above the gingiva, and we also, if we go ahead and turn off the gingiva or make it transparent, we talked about designing a nice smooth emergence profile underneath the tissue. So that's basically how I would handle it. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the gingiva, and once you get to this stage, once you're happy with your contacts, your crown, your emergence profile, now it's time to actually split this into your abutment and then crown. So what you'll do is you'll go ahead and right click on the crown. We're going to choose split. A green line is going to come up. Now you have the ability to go ahead and manually edit this green line if you would like. I generally don't, because you can move it around in later parts of the actual process. So I typically, unless there's a specific reason, just leave that green line where it stands and go ahead and hit apply. So now it's going to compute the veneering structure surface, and there you go. There we've got our nice custom abutment, and you can see the transparent crown over the top. Okay, so that looks great. So the very first thing that I'm going to do is I look at the clearance I have for the opposing crown. It looks like I might need a little bit more room for my Emax crown, so I've got a couple options. Usually what I always do is I like the new scale tool. So I'll right click, I'm going to choose scale. The first thing that I'm going to do is we have both radial scale, occlusal scale, and we can do scale whole for both. So generally I choose occlusal, scale whole, and then we go ahead and scale down the height of the abutment. Okay, just to give myself a little bit more clearance for my Emax crown. If you wanted to move, if you wanted to move just this little cusp tip here, we certainly could do that by using the circular shape tool. Make it real big, and you can shape this straight down if you would like. So that's how you could adjust the height of the abutment. The second thing I'm going to do is go back to the scale tool. I'm going to go back to occlusal, back to scale whole. The next thing I'm going to take care of is the margin. Remember, I told you don't need to really edit that line because you can actually move this margin up and down as you please. Okay, you can do the whole thing, or if you actually turn off scale whole, you can actually move up sections of the margin. Okay, which is really advantageous if you go ahead and you turn on your gingiva. It's transparent here, but you can still kind of see where that margin is in relation to the gingiva. So if you like that buckle just maybe a half a millimeter subgingival, you can leave it there. Notice I'm just on occlusal but not scale whole. If I want to move my interproximal margins up just a little bit, so we're not getting down there and have a cement problem, we can do that. So you can basically move your margins wherever you would like to go. Okay? And so generally I'll go around and I'll kind of manipulate the margins a little bit where I would like them to go. Okay, so that's the first step. So let's go ahead and turn off our gingiva. The next step I'm usually going to do is, this is a pretty ideal abutment, ideal case, so I'm milling at this point. But let's say you were thin, you had some minimal thickness shining through. You could actually change your margin thickness in a couple different ways. You could go to radial, click radial scale whole, and you can move the margin in and out like this. Okay, so you can make your margin a little thicker. You certainly can do that just in one area if you would like. If you had some minimal thicknesses issues over here, you could just move that surface. So go ahead and undo this. Or you can actually go back to the parameters, and let's say I wanted a bigger shoulder, let's say 900, almost a millimeter, hit OK. It just gives you the bigger shoulder, and it actually doesn't change much of anything else. So we'll go back and go back to the parameters. Let's switch it to more of a medium level, 700. And there you go. That looks like a pretty good situation there for me. So our crown's already done from the previous video. Now our abutment's done. You can notice that the bottom says 14-14. That means that the file has been split. So we'll go to the mill, and it's going to calculate the mill preview for my abutment. okay, which looks really nice. We'll get into sprue position and stuff in later videos. I just wanted to do a quick overview. And notice if I wanted to mill the actual crown part, I need to put the cursor to the bottom of the screen. Right now we're on the framework. If I go to the crown, it'll bring me back to the design phase, where you actually, if you would like, you can make additional adjustments to the minimal thickness, to the occlusion, to the context using your shape tool. So if I wanted to fix a couple of these areas, you can certainly do that, and it will adapt the understructure to that as you go. We'll go ahead and hit the mill. It's going to calculate the mill preview, and now you have the ability to mill your crown, and you can mill your abutment. So hopefully these two videos gave you a nice overview on how the abutment process works. Clearly not every case goes like this, so we'll have many more troubleshooting videos on how to get past normal everyday situations, how to splint abutment crowns, how to parallel abutments, and all sorts of different things we'll get to down the road.